Where is the beef? It's right here. February is American Heart Month, and taking care of your heart starts on your plate. Many assume heart healthy means giving up all the foods they love, but that's not the case. Dr. Shalene Mcneill says, want that beef taco? Go ahead, because lean beef can absolutely fit into a heart healthy lifestyle, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Good morning.
Good morning.
You know, the #1 killer of men and women around the world is heart disease, right?
Yeah.
And it's interesting. We're kind of digging our graves through our teeth, but it's like pulling teeth to get a lot of us to realize there is a direct connection between what you eat and your overall health.
Oh, there definitely is. And as a dietitian, I love talking about beef for heart health because it's surprising. And there's so much new information out there. A lot of people are surprised to learn about the things that they can do to eat healthy for heart month.
You're not only a registered dietitian, but a licensed dietitian as well. What does that mean?
Well, in Texas, we can be licensed, so that gives us additional expertise and coverage when we're practicing in Texas. Goes right along with a registered dietitian. And then I'm also a nutrition scientist. So I like to study the research and then talk about how we really make it happen at home.
What made you decide to go into that field?
I love science, but I wanted something where we could make some practical takeaways, and everybody eats, so it's a great way to take all the science that goes along with nutrition and then bring it to life and on the table at home.
You direct human nutrition research programs. You do a lot of things, as you mentioned, the scientist and researcher part. It's so funny how beef over the years, like, oh no, I can't do red meat. Now, why can't you do red meat? And you say, you even ask doctors, you go, why are you saying to people not to do red meat? And they stop and go, I don't know. I just heard it somewhere. So we got to demystify some things.
Let's do that for sure. Absolutely. I do think a lot has changed with the science on beef over the years, and the science on nutrition has changed over the years. I think people are catching on and seeing that. So lots to update on, but great news about beef. We've got lean beef today. We've got so many cuts.
What lean beef is.
Yeah, well, lean beef is...
I mean, the word lean is in there, but how lean are we talking?
There's an actual definition of lean beef, but you don't have to get too tied up in that. Less than 10 grams of fat per serving usually. But the way that I like to tell people to look for lean beef, a good tip is to look for the words of loin or round. If it's a cut like a sirloin or a round steak, that's a good tip to find lean beef. Closely trim the external fat, and you're going to get really close to lean beef that way.
Yeah, like a 3-ounce standard serving can have about 150 calories, which that's low,
great.
Right? Yeah. And then has 10 essential nutrients from zinc, iron, B vitamins, creatine, 25 grams of high quality protein that goes straight to your muscles, right?
Yeah, and we call it
nutrient. Is a muscle.
The heart is a muscle, and we call that nutrient rich or nutrient dense because you're looking to get the most nutrition that you can out of the calories you're choosing, and beef is a great example, packed with so much great nutrition and of course delicious flavor.
And it's so easy. All right, so you have some recipes for us, because that's part of what stops people too, is like, okay, I get it, I'm buying in, but I don't have time to.
But how do I do it? How do I actually make this happen in my life? And I know one of the things that has changed with nutrition advice is we're prioritizing protein more than ever before, and beef obviously is a great high quality protein. So for breakfast, what about this beef breakfast burrito? We're starting off with just some lean ground beef.
Wait, I see a tortilla there.
So easy. Well, you know what? You can have whole grains, you can have carbohydrates. It's about balance. But the key here is the thing that's often missing from breakfast. Easy to find the carbohydrates, harder to find the protein. So in this case, we're going to take this lean ground beef. I've just got some peppers and onions. Add in a little bit more protein from our eggs, a little bit of cilantro, and we have this scramble that now we're pumping up the protein. And what that's going to do for you, it's going to curb your appetite, curb those cravings through lunch, balance your blood sugars, and that's going to set you up for a great heart.
You're not going to want the bag of chips in between.
That's right. You're going to be less, a little bit more resilient to those nudges.
Yeah. And so, and on breakfast, a lot of us are guilty of it. We will get that box of cereal, and I go, oh, but it has all these vitamins on it, right? So, but it doesn't have.
This is a natural source of the protein and the iron and the zinc. And the other thing that I love about this is you can see we're literally doing this right now. Less than a couple of minutes, you can have this scramble. I love freezing these ahead. They're portable. You can pick them up and take them with you. Yummy. Delicious, satisfying.
Oh, so good.
And you can do them ahead and freeze them and just heat them in the microwave. I heated these up just really quickly and they still taste delicious. You could sub out. You don't have to have the tortilla. You could sub out something if you want.
But really again, like you said, in moderation. Sometimes we demonize things, like if you had a little bit of butter, that's fine.
You can add that. Yeah, that's add flavor. Exactly. There's nothing wrong with that.
Let's go to our next meal.
Yeah. For lunch. The Mediterranean diet is really trending. A lot of people, I think I heard us talking earlier this morning about I tried the Mediterranean diet. But a lot of people think that you have to give up on beef to eat a Mediterranean diet. Not the case. There's absolutely new research out where we've tested, can you eat a Mediterranean diet and include lean beef? And you know what happens, Deborah? You start to lower your cholesterol. You start to improve your blood pressure. It's about the whole meal. So in this case, we've paired our steak. This is a delicious flank steak. You could use a sirloin with some of our favorite Mediterranean ingredients, spinach, quinoa, tomatoes. You could sub it. I added in a healthy fat with some pistachios at the top. We've just served it with a really nice tzatziki sauce.
Yeah.
So easy.
And we have a number of great Mediterranean restaurants here, and they all have beef in their restaurants.
And taking it as a bowl like this, you can have it delicious. I wanted to share this tip because we're using a flank steak, and a flank steak is a great example to show how we love to recommend at Beef Loving Texans cutting across the grain.
Yeah.
It's a lean, but you can see how the fibers run this way. So if we want the most tender slices of steak, we cut across those grains,
So
and we get
that phrase, you know, don't go across the grain, right?
Yeah,
go across the grain.
Go across the grain.
All right, so
Do
got this
that.
right here, and then wrap it up with our last dish here.
Yeah, for dinner, we're looking for easy. We're so pooped by the end of the day. I love the cube steak. We took a beef cube steak, super affordable, about the same cost as ground beef. It's usually a round cut, a lean cut. It's already tenderized for you. We cooked it in a pan. You were talking about earlier about a little bit of oil, 1 teaspoon of oil. And then we've paired it with zoodles and some sauteed tomatoes, freshened it up with some lime, lemon juice and basil, and we have a one-pan delicious meal.
All of this is delicious. I feel like I gave up nothing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Beef Loving Texans, remember, that's your
Beef
go-to
Loving
source.
Texans. If you'd like to try the meals featured in today's show at home or learn more about lean beef and heart-healthy eating, you can find these recipes and tips at, like she just said, beeflovingtexans.com, beeflovingtexans.com.